Close your eyes, breathe gently, and know what you seek is not far from you. It is within you. Healing is not a distant event, but a present reality, waiting for your recognition. You do not heal by effort. You heal by acceptance, by assuming that you are already well. The body responds not to struggle, but to assumption. Every cell listens to the tone of your inner voice. What are you whispering to yourself? Begin here. Trust. Trust is not passive. Trust is an act of creation. When you trust, you align with the invisible currents of wholeness. You are saying, "It is done. I do not need to beg. I do not need to worry. I only need to rest in the knowing that I am." Healing is not something to chase. It's something to allow. In meditation, return to that sacred place within, where you already are whole. Close the doors of the outer world. Go within. Visualize your body glowing with light. See yourself walking in strength, breathing in peace, speaking with clarity. Feel it. Live it. Claim it. Affirmations are the voice of your inner God, not mere words, but creative decrees. Do not speak as one hoping. Speak as one who knows. Say, "I am whole. Every cell in my body vibrates with health. I trust the divine order of my life. Healing is mine now." And as you speak, let emotion rise. Let joy find you. Let peace flow like warm light over your being. For what you feel, you attract. And what you accept, becomes. Your body is not separate from your mind. It is the canvas upon which your beliefs are painted. Paint well. Choose thoughts of harmony. Choose visions of vitality. Choose to see yourself as already renewed. Let every meditation be a journey back to your true self. Let every affirmation be a reminder that you are not becoming healed, you are remembering that you already are. Most people look to their outer circumstances for confirmation of healing. They wait for the doctor's report, the physical evidence, the signs from the world to tell them it's time to feel better. But this is to move backwards through the creative process. The world does not cause your inner state. Your inner state causes the world you see. What you vividly imagine, especially in times of stillness, becomes the pattern that your body begins to follow. You must dare to see yourself as already healed before a single symptom disappears. In your imagination, walk as the healed person. Breathe as they would. Feel the calm strength in your body. Hear the voice of confidence within you. Use every sense, sight, sound, touch, taste, smell, to make this inner picture alive. When you do this, something powerful happens. Your subconscious accepts the image as truth and begins to reorganize your entire system around that truth. This is not daydreaming. It is not idle fantasy. It is creation in its purest form. The world calls it imagination. The wise call it vision. It is how all transformation begins. Every invention, every work of art, every moment of healing, each began first in the unseen realm of thought, feeling, and vision. The body listens. It listens to your thoughts, your inner conversations, and the images you dwell on. If you constantly imagine illness, talk about pain, and rehearse worst-case scenarios, the body will respond with tension, fear, and often disease. But when you begin to reverse this, when you intentionally imagine life, health, joy, and energy, the body relaxes. It begins to follow the image it sees repeated in the mind. That is why healing through imagination is not a matter of trying harder, but surrendering more deeply. Let go of the outer facts for a while. Withdraw your attention from what the senses scream at you. Enter your secret sanctuary within. In this space, you are free to create what you desire. Not what is, but what is desired. You are not bound by appearances in your imagination. There you can be whole now. You can feel good now. You can rise, smile, and speak from the place of healing, even if the outer world hasn't yet caught up. This act of inner seeing is not wishful thinking. It is spiritual law. Your life will always rise or fall to meet the image you hold of yourself. So hold a strong one. Hold a radiant one. Choose again and again to dwell in the image of your ideal, and the body will begin to harmonize with it. You cannot fake this. You must feel it. You must believe in your inner world more than you believe in the temporary evidence of your outer one. It is your imagination that speaks to the infinite, that communicates directly with the creative force of life itself. Use it with reverence. Use it with consistency, and watch what begins to change, not by force, but by alignment. Healing begins with one decision: to no longer let the outer world dictate your inner state. From there, you choose the image of wholeness. You dwell in it, you walk in it, you feel it as if it were already done. And by divine law, it must come forth. To exist now, you are already healed. In the eternal now, there is no delay, no waiting, no future moment where healing will finally arrive. It is not something coming down the road, not something being earned by effort or time. It exists now, in this moment, fully formed in the invisible realm. The truth of who you are is wholeness. The only thing missing is your recognition of it. Healing is not something to chase. The moment you seek it outside of yourself, you have stepped away from the truth. The body may present symptoms, the mind may hold fear, but these are only reflections of old assumptions, patterns of belief that have been accepted and repeated over time. They are not the final authority. What truly governs your experience is your state of consciousness, what you accept as true right now. In the eternal now, all things are present. There is no past to relive, no future to await. There is only awareness. And in awareness, if you accept the state of being here, your world begins to shift to reflect that truth. Not because time has passed, but because your assumption has changed. To assume the feeling of being whole is to rise in consciousness above the facts. It is to look past the pain, the diagnosis, the worry, and to say, I remember who I am. You do not need the world to confirm it. You do not need others to understand. The moment you accept this inner state as true, something begins to rearrange. Healing does not come from effort. It comes from identification. If you identify with being unwell, even if unknowingly, your reality will echo that. But if you identify with being whole, even in silence, that silent knowing begins to shape your life. There is great power in assumption. It is not pretending, it is not lying to yourself. It is aligning with the truth that already is. The eternal now holds all possibilities. In this moment, you can tune into the version of yourself that already walks in peace, already breathes with ease, already lives in balance and harmony. That version is not separate from you. It is you, without the layers of fear, doubt, and memory. You were never broken, only taught to believe you were. And now you return, not by fixing yourself, but by awakening to what you have always been. Wholeness is not earned. It is revealed. Feel it. That is the key. Do not merely say the words. Feel what it means to be whole. Feel the relief, the gratitude, the calm knowing that nothing is missing, nothing is wrong. Rest in that feeling. Let it saturate your mind, your breath, your body. When you dwell in that state, even for moments, you are no longer reaching, you are receiving. This is how transformation occurs, not by waiting for better news, but by becoming the bearer of new assumptions. You assume wholeness. You assume wellness. You walk, speak, breathe, and think from that place. The outer will catch up. The body will respond. The world around you will begin to rearrange itself to reflect what you hold as true. So right now, let go of striving. Let go of hoping that healing will come one day. Say instead, it is here, it is now, it is done. The eternal now holds no delays, no conditions. It only holds what you accept. The invitation is simple. Stop trying to get healed and start being healed. Live from the end, not the middle. Feel from the answer, not the question. Trust the unseen more than the seen. And what you feel with conviction in this eternal now will unfold effortlessly into form. You are already healed. Walk in that knowing. Meditation aligns you with the infinite. In the silence beyond thought, beyond striving, beyond fear, you meet the source of all creation. It is not in doing, not in forcing, not in fixing that true healing arrives. It is in returning to the center, to the deep stillness where your being is whole, untouched, and complete. This is the place where all things begin and where all things are resolved. The world trains us to look outward, to search for solutions, to run toward results. But the moment you close your eyes and turn within, you step into the realm where time and form lose their grip. You enter the field of the infinite, where all states of being exist now, and where healing is not something to create, but something to remember. Meditation is the gateway to this remembrance. It is not an escape, it is a return. In stillness, you do not beg for healing, you become it. You no longer argue with your symptoms or try to rearrange your outer conditions. You simply allow yourself to rest in the truth that underneath all appearance, you are already whole. This resting is not passive. It is powerful. It is the stillness that moves mountains, the silence that brings clarity, the quiet that restores every cell of your body. You were never designed to carry the weight of the world in your mind. Your natural state is peace. Your essence is harmony. But in the noise of life, this truth is often buried. That is why meditation is so essential. It is the daily practice of remembering. Each breath in awareness is a return to your true self. Each moment of stillness is a letting go of false identity and false limitation. And as the layers fall away, what remains is not a broken or incomplete version of you. It is your divine essence, shining and whole. Healing does not need to be summoned. It needs to be allowed. It is always flowing, always available. But we resist it when we live in the chatter of fear, the tension of control, and the belief that we must earn our wellness. Meditation removes the interference, it clears the static and reattunes you to the natural rhythm of life. And life, at its core, knows how to heal itself. As you sit in stillness, do not seek anything, do not try to make something happen. Simply become aware. Aware of the breath, aware of the silence, aware of the energy that surrounds you and flows through you. This awareness itself is alignment. It connects you with the infinite mind, the divine intelligence that formed you and sustains you. When you sit in this place long enough, something beautiful begins to unfold, not from effort, but from surrender. You will notice your thoughts softening, your emotions releasing, your body relaxing, and more importantly, you will notice that your sense of self expands. You are no longer the person trying to heal. You are the awareness in which healing is natural, constant, and inevitable. This is the power of meditation. It reveals to you what is already true, that you are not separate from the divine, that the infinite is not somewhere far off. It is within you, as you, now. And in this unity, miracles become normal, restoration becomes effortless, and peace becomes your foundation. Do not underestimate the silence. It is not empty, it is full. Full of wisdom, guidance, strength, and healing. When you return to it, again and again, you will find that the life you once tried to control begins to flow with grace. The healing you once chased begins to manifest on its own. Not because you forced it, but because you aligned. Meditation is not a luxury. It is your home. Return to it daily, not to change yourself, but to remember yourself. And in remembering, healing becomes not a destination, but your natural state. Affirmations must be felt, not just spoken. It is not the repetition alone that changes your world. It is the feeling behind the words. You are not trying to convince a distant power or recite a magic phrase. You are speaking from the place of power within you, the divine center that creates reality through assumption and belief. Words saturated with conviction become law. You can repeat a phrase 1,000 times, but if you do not feel its truth, you are only echoing emptiness. Real affirmation is not about quantity. It is about quality of belief. It is the sacred act of assuming a truth so deeply that the outer world must conform. You are not begging, hoping, or persuading. You are declaring. And the one to whom you declare is yourself. When you say, I am healed, or I am whole, you must speak from the end, not from the lack. If your heart still clings to the absence, the pain, the fear, then those are the energies you continue to affirm, even while the words on your lips say otherwise. But when you say it with feeling, with stillness in your heart, and vision in your imagination, something shifts. You become the very thing you declare. Emotion is the carrier of assumption. It is the bridge between idea and reality. When you feel the truth of your affirmation, even before it appears, you activate the creative power of your inner world. You become magnetic to the version of life that matches your state. The words are not the cause, they are the vessel. It is the feeling that gives them life. To speak an affirmation correctly is to dwell in the state of its fulfillment. You do not speak of a thing, you speak from it. You feel the outcome as already yours. You sit in the calm, knowing that what you have spoken is done, and the world will rearrange to reflect it. Let your affirmations become sacred declarations. Say them with reverence, with presence, and with the tone of one who knows. Not because the world has confirmed it yet, but because your imagination already has, and that is enough. The outer follows the inner, always. Affirming I am abundant, while feeling anxious and desperate, does not create abundance. It strengthens lack. But when you say, I am abundant, with peace in your chest, with gratitude as if the evidence is already before you. Now your words take root. The soil of consciousness accepts the seed when it is dropped, in faith, not in doubt. You must understand. Your subconscious mind hears not just your words, but the tone beneath them. It responds to feeling, not form. It obeys the emotion you pair with your statement. Say it flat, and it remains dormant. Say it alive with belief, and it begins to move mountains. Speak your affirmations in the stillness of the morning or the quiet of night, when the mind is most receptive. Close your eyes, slow your breath, and speak not to get, but to become. Become the healed, the whole, the abundant, the beloved. See yourself as already in possession of the truth you affirm. Feel the peace of it, the joy, the relief. Let that be your practice. You do not need 1,000 affirmations. You need one, spoken with such inner conviction that it feels like a prophecy. You are not just reciting, you are commanding. Not from force, but from knowing. And in that knowing, all things are light. Affirmations are not about sounding strong. They are about feeling strong. They are not tools of the mind alone, but instruments of the heart. Let every word carry the frequency of your desire fulfilled. Let every sentence be saturated in the energy of already having it. That is when you stop speaking to the world and start speaking as the world you wish to see. And then your words become flesh. Trust is the bridge between the seen and the unseen. It is the invisible thread that connects the desire to its fulfillment, the imagined to the manifested, the inner world to the outer. Without trust, you wander through life attempting to control every detail, growing weary with doubt and frustration. But with trust, you rest in the knowing that all things are working together. Though unseen, they are not undone. Trust is the power that holds the unseen reality in place until it appears before your eyes. So many delay their manifestations not because they do not desire them, but because they do not trust. They affirm with their lips but cancel with their doubt. They pray, then check the world to see if anything has changed. And when it is not, they say, it didn't work. But trust is not impatient. Trust knows that what is planted will rise, not on your time, but in perfect time. Trust is not looking for signs, it is the sign. The moment you truly trust, your inner world softens. Anxiety fades. You stop grasping, stop forcing. Stop trying to figure it all out. You understand that your work is to assume, to feel, and to know, and then to walk in peace, as if what you desire is already yours, because it is. The world you see is only a reflection of your inner state. And when you live in trust, you shift the cause. You no longer react to appearances, but respond from your deeper knowing. The outer may still look unchanged, but within you have crossed the bridge. You are no longer trying to you are simply allowing what already exists to meet you. Every desire is already complete in the unseen. When it arose in your heart, it came from a deeper place than logic. It came from the infinite, through you. And the moment you claimed it, it was done. But you must trust this unseen fulfillment more than you trust the temporary evidence of delay. Delay is not denial. It is simply the rearrangement of the visible to match the invisible. When you worry, you step off the bridge. When you question how or when, you block the very flow you ask to receive. But when you trust deeply and quietly, you invite. You create space for life to meet you where you are. You become the calm observer, no longer in resistance, no longer in fear. Trust is not loud. It does not argue or explain. It is the silent agreement between you and the source of all things. It is the steady voice within that says, I know it is done. And that voice, once believed, becomes the reality you walk into. To trust is to remember who you are. You are not separate from the Creator. You are not powerless. You are not chasing miracles. You are the place where miracles begin. You were given the gift of imagination, not to tease yourself with fantasies, but to create realities. And the only price to pay is belief, faith, trust. So when you imagine your healing, your abundance, your peace, hold to it with the quiet strength of trust. Do not waver, because the world is slow to reflect it. Time is not the measure of truth. Your inner knowing is. Feel it. Live in it. Speak from it. And above all, trust it. What you trust in your heart will become the law of your life. Doubt delays, but trust invites. Doubt argues, but trust agrees. Trust is not waiting, it is receiving. It is walking as though it's already done because it is. You are not here to force the outcome. You are here to align with it. So let trust be your foundations. Let it carry you over the unseen waters. Let it hold you when the evidence is thin. Because trust is the bridge that never fails. And once you walk it with confidence, the unseen becomes seen. Every time. Your self-concept is the foundation of your health. You do not experience life as it is. You experience life as you are. And how you see yourself, what you accept as true about your body, your mind, your spirit, shapes every cell, every response, every outcome. You cannot carry a self-image of weakness, fear, or disease and walk in wholeness. You must rise in consciousness and see yourself as already vibrant, already restored, already whole. There is no outside condition that defines you unless you claim it. The body responds to the mind's instruction, and the mind listens to your concept of self. If you see yourself as fragile, you become so. If you see yourself as a victim, life will mirror it. But if you dare to hold the vision of yourself as divinely supported, healed, and strong, even in the face of contradiction, you send out a new instruction, and the body listens. The body is not the cause, it is the result. And the root of that result is always the state of being you occupy. Healing begins when you shift your identity. When you say, I am whole, not out of wishful thinking, but out of knowing that your true essence cannot be broken. You are not the illness. You are not the diagnosis. You are not the limitation. You are the awareness behind all of it, and that awareness is eternal, pure, and powerful. You cannot remain loyal to the image of being unwell and expect health to find you. Healing begins the moment you drop the false self, the one that identifies with pain, struggle, and lack, and return to your true self, the one made in the image of the infinite, the one who knows that wholeness is not something to attain, but something to remember. Your self-concept is a seed, and whatever you water daily becomes the fruit you live by. So begin to nourish a new identity, one where you are no longer chasing healing, but embodying it. One where you no longer see yourself as broken, but as constantly regenerating, constantly aligned with divine intelligence. When you see yourself this way, not just occasionally, but habitually, you change the entire field around you. You see the entire field around you as a head of destiny. And the world lives in bliss when you change the entire field around you. The body hears what you say about it. Every time you affirm, I am tired, I am sick, I can't heal, you are imprinting that identity into your cells. But when you speak with power, I am vibrant, I am alive with energy, I am divinely guided to full restoration, you open a new pathway and the body will begin to follow. This is not about denying symptoms, it is about denying their authority. You can acknowledge pain without becoming it. You can observe imbalance without naming it your identity. The shift happens when you place your attention not on what is wrong, but on what is eternally right. The truth of who you are beneath the noise. The mind may argue. It may say, but look at the evidence, look at the reports, look at the mirror, and still you must say, I do not live by what I see. I live by what I know. And I know that I am not limited to this moment. I am more than this body. I am the one who directs it. Self-concept is not fixed. It is fluid. It can be renewed, rewritten, resurrected. You can build a new image starting today, one that radiates strength, wellness, peace, and joy. And every time you return to that image, in thought, in meditation, in affirmation, you breathe life into it. See yourself as whole, not someday, but now. Feel it. Believe it, live from it. Let that vision grow so strong within you that it dissolves every lesser thought, every fearful suggestion. Because what you consistently accept as true becomes the life you live. You are not here to chase healing, you are here to become it. And when you see yourself as already aligned, already radiant, already renewed, the body cannot help but follow. Healing is not a distant event, it is a present reality. It begins not in the body, but in the mind, in the silence, in the truth you dare to accept about yourself. You are not a victim of circumstance or diagnosis. You are the operant power, the center of awareness through which life expresses. When you imagine healing, feel it, trust it, affirm it, and align with it, your world shifts. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. This is the secret. You are not becoming healed. You are remembering that you already are. In the eternal now, nothing is missing, nothing is broken. Assume that feeling. Walk in that knowing. Let your self-concept rise to meet the version of you that is already whole, already vibrant, already free. You do not need to force anything. You only need to return to yourself again and again until that truth becomes louder than fear, deeper than doubt, and stronger than any condition. Healing is not outside you. It is who you are. Thank you. May your trust grow deeper, your affirmations ring truer, your meditations reveal more peace, and may your imagination never again forget its power.